All right, now we've made it to lesson number 4, our last lesson. Now on this one, we're not going to do anything on the screen. I'm just going to go ahead and explain to y'all why it's important to keep it all organized on your calendar. Now, we want you to understand why it is important to not overbook yourself. So one thing about this job is we are up and down, back and forth, working mornings, evenings, afternoons, weekends. It does become very demanding. We would hate for you to overwork yourself because you want to overbook yourself. So looking at here, and actually I'm going to go back to September. Let's see, look at this. So on this week, I had separated the vehicle for myself and I had gone to 4 different schools. Now, if you look at these schools, I did go from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., meaning that I did work all day at these schools only because they're so far away. But let me tell you, I was very exhausted. I believe on this one, yeah, 8:30 to 4. I was exhausted because I worked Monday through Thursday. And it was this thing of like, you need to make sure you separate time for your lunch hour or give yourself some admin time. I went in straight when school opened, right at 8:30, all the way to school closing at 4:30 to drive back to my Laredo hotel, and then just work on emails for the rest of the day because I didn't give myself time during the day. There are better ways to do this kind of stuff. You don't have to be at a school all day, regardless of what a counselor tells you of all the students want to see you. They can make the effort to make it a presentation. That way all the students can have time to go to your presentation. Now, what I did do in this week is, although I did work all week, I gave myself Friday as a full office day. That's why there's nothing there. This is where the monthly view comes in handy. See, in September where I wasn't that busy, you can see my appointments here. But on Thursday, I said, you know what? I'm not going to schedule anything on Thursday because I want to be able to relax. So that's why it's important, because you feel overworked. You feel like you're working a little too hard and you don't have any days off. One great tip that I have: scheduling 2 schools a day sounds like the best thing because you get to work, let's just say 8:30 to 11. You get that 1 hour lunch and then you come back and you work another school. You don't have to be at a school for longer than what you need to, meaning you don't need to sit around and wait for questions to come to you. If you want to go ahead and just present and then leave, you're more than welcome to. You are in control of what you're doing. So give yourself that adamant time to get to the school on time. Give yourself time to drive to lunch. Give yourself that hour break. This way, you don't feel overwhelmed or overbooked. Be able to calculate driving time, breaks, lunches, and set up into scheduling procedures. So for example, let's say it was a little different for Laredo because I was already staying at a hotel nearby. But let's say, for example, I want to go visit Wesco East High School, right? So we'll pull up our Google Maps. And let's say, sorry about that. For my current location, I need to go to Wesco East. We do use Google Drive only because Google Drive has been the most accurate. We'll click on directions, and then starting point will be here, which is my home, and 31 minutes, right? So this is what I'm going to do. Wesco East driving time. And so let's just do it for tomorrow. And so I will be taking off at 8. I'm going to give myself until 8:45. Now, why is it that it's a 31-minute drive and I'm giving myself 45 minutes? Because you don't know what could happen. Traffic gets really ugly in this area. There could be traffic to get into the school area. You don't want to be stuck in traffic and not be able to make it on time. So give yourself an adequate amount of time of driving time on your calendar. And this way we know that maybe you're not in a meeting, but you're driving, so you cannot pick up any more appointments. Take into account office hours. Now, we still have your weekly communications. We still have your phone calls, your in-person meetings, excuse me. There's still duties that need to be done in the office. Make sure that you give yourself that time throughout the day to be able to get it done. So for example, on this one, as you can see, I've given myself time. Oops, sorry. Go to another day. Let's do this one. If you look at it, I've given myself time 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, and then I do have 2 breaks in between where I can check up on office time. So you need to make sure that you give yourself that time to work on your office items, only because if communications don't get sent out, the only person that'll be at fault would be you. Not because only because counselors call you and ask you for visits does not mean that you need to accommodate them as soon as possible, since we do have our own schedule and they're working off of our schedule. And then take into account take into account their office hours and finance all the time they will have blocked off for their own office duties. Now, again, with this, it's about making sure that you're not overbooked or overwhelmed. So find yourself that time to just block it off. So, for example, again, back to my Laredo trip. Okay. I saw that Friday I was not going to be busy, so I had scheduled myself Friday office time all day. I didn't do anything that day other than my emails and my office stuff. Now, when you look here, let's do new appointment. You can give yourself, let's just say you want to take a day off, out of office, personal day. And let's future date it for, let's do the 28th, all day. That means that you will not be out of office the entire day. And that means that nobody can bother you. Your Microsoft Teams will show us offline, and your calendar will show that you're not in office. This is a great way for you to go ahead and separate your days that you want to take off. Or you can also do office duties in case you need to go to the SES building to pick anything up, or if you need to go pick up materials from another location, you can also add those in. But it is very important to give yourself that time to be able to unwind, relax, make sure that everything gets done in a timely manner while doing your visits. So with that being said, I hope you come to understand by reading this that it is important that you do rest in between all of the crazy up and downs and visits that we do. I know that I definitely struggled with it at first, but now I've gotten a lot better about being able to give myself that time to relax. So with that, reach out if you have any questions about this, if you need any help with the assessment or quiz. And other than that, you all have an amazing day.